name is Robert Rice, and I'm the CEO of Transmira, and we are the makers of the Omniscape platform. We try to help businesses, brands, and creators, basically. We focus on the Metaverse because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. But it's really hard for people to understand what it is and kind of how to take advantage of it for their business. So we kind of provide tools, products, and services that are specifically designed for brands, businesses, and creators to get out in the Metaverse and do all kinds of cool stuff. When you look at the industry and all the analysts, it's pretty much expected that the Metaverse as an industry should be generating something like, I don't know, $13 trillion in like 10 years, which is massive for an industry size. But the question still remains, how do you make money? In our particular case, we're trying to do something that's more global and more impactful for the world and helping uplift people. And when we began to look at all this, we realized that, cryptocurrency is just like any other currency. It's currency. It's not what's important. What's important is the ability to transfer value or associate value. Like I said earlier, we can link something in the real world to a virtual object. And one of the things that makes us really special, well, there's two things actually. One is how we approach monetization. So we've developed some really cool intellectual property or IP that lets us link 3D objects and augmented reality or virtual reality to things in the real world, the physical world. And basically what this does is it helps us create, utility and value for 3D things that are hanging around the metaverse, but that link back to the real world is what makes them special. So whether it's a 3D coffee cup that I find in augmented reality that I can collect and then go to a store and exchange for a real cup of coffee, that linking there. But that type of thing helps a brand basically get their content in front of their ideal user or consumer, and then kind of create an experience and drive traffic to a cafe or a store where a transaction can occur. So when you stop thinking about the currency or the cryptocurrency and focus more on the transaction and the transference of value, then it's like, okay, wow, so how do we do that? And this is where blockchain comes in. It helps us keep it secure. We know where it came from. We can verify that it's actually associated with this thing in the real world. We can tokenize it. There's all these options that we can do to make it great. But the end user or the customer really doesn't need to know about it. They don't have to have cryptocurrency. They don't have to go out and get a wallet. They don't have to study anything because we do it all behind the scenes. We make it simple. So for you as a consumer, you just want the coffee cup or the free pizza or the cool fun experience. And it's like, here you go. We take care of everything else behind the scenes. And even further, when we start doing other things like accessing IoT devices and pulling data from a sensor, maybe it's a smart TV or a smart refrigerator, or maybe it's an oil rig out in the middle of the Atlantic. But taking that data, then using it to visualize cool stuff in an AR or VR space, that's great, but we have to be able to trust the data that we're getting. We have to know where it came from. There has to be good data integrity, data security. And without blockchain, you really can't quite do that. So we take blockchain, we apply it to areas so we know that, again, where it came from, what it is, that it's valid, it's encrypted, it's secure, it's safe. And then it also to kind of empower the commerce side as well. We have to do a crazy amount of transactions and changes, which means that we need something that's fast, scalable, secure, inexpensive. The list just goes on, and blockchain fits those issues. And certainly, I don't want to jump ahead to some of the other questions, but BSV is the one that we found that meets our needs. We went and evaluated a variety of other blockchain protocols. And at the end of the day, we made a business decision and a technical decision. The BSV blockchain was basically the only one that could keep up with the speed and the volume that we needed. And then again, too, it's highly scalable, and the transaction fees are so minimal and negligible. Half the time, we don't even pass those on to the consumer. We're just like, what is 0.0001 of a penny? It just almost doesn't matter. It was just a clear choice. We had the crypto winter. A lot of the hype around Metaverse stuff, maybe 6 or 9 months ago, has kind of dissipated, but I think it's going to come back with a very loud roar. People are still kind of maybe, trying to wrap their heads around what it is and what it could be. And the early players that were about, I'm going to make a lot of money and get out as quick as I can, right? Those guys are kind of weeded out now, and the ones that are left are the ones that are really trying to do something that's impactful and world-changing.